Have you ever wondered why most people never even reach 82, even though so many dream of living past 100? The truth has less to do with genetics and far more to do with daily choices that quietly shorten life. 5 common mistakes repeated by millions of older adults are often the hidden reason years are lost. The tragedy is that these mistakes are preventable, and the hope is that once you know them, you can add not only more years, but better years. This message is especially urgent for anyone in their 60s, 70s, or beyond. To show you why, we'll follow the story of Dorothy, a retired school principal who thought she was doing everything right until one small accident exposed a dangerous truth. What she discovered afterward completely reshaped her future, and it can change yours too. The third mistake is so common that 9 out of 10 people are likely making it right now. And the fifth, it's so simple and overlooked that most doctors rarely mention it, yet it quietly claims countless lives. This video is not about fear, but about shining a light on what is silently cutting lives short, and more importantly, how to avoid it. Imagine reaching your 90th birthday, not only alive, but strong, independent, and full of purpose. That future is possible if you learn what Dorothy learned. Now, let's get started. Mistake number 1. The medication multiplication trap. Dorothy's bathroom cabinet once looked like a small pharmacy. Rows of bottles for blood pressure, cholesterol, sleep, pain, indigestion filled the shelves. She never questioned it because each pill was prescribed by a different doctor at different times. What she didn't realize was that the real danger wasn't in any single medication, but in the way they interacted with one another. Studies have shown that once a person takes 5 or more medications at the same time, their risk of serious complications and even premature death increases dramatically. Dorothy discovered this firsthand when she started noticing strange bruises and constant fatigue. After a pharmacist carefully reviewed her medications, it became clear she was taking 2 separate blood thinners, prescribed by 2 different doctors who hadn't coordinated with each other. Adding an over-the-counter pain pill made her situation even riskier, leaving her just 1 step away from internal bleeding. The trap runs deeper than just interactions. Each new symptom often led Dorothy to another prescription. A pill to help her sleep left her groggy during the day. For that, she was given something to boost her energy, which then upset her stomach, leading to antacids. Those antacids reduced her ability to absorb key nutrients, which created still more health issues. It was a vicious cycle of chasing side effects instead of addressing root causes. The turning point came when Dorothy decided to take control with what she called her medication audit. She wrote a complete list of every prescription, supplement and over-the-counter pill she was taking. She began scheduling quarterly reviews with her pharmacist, insisting that all her doctors consult with each other before prescribing anything new. She asked hard questions whenever a new pill was suggested. Is this replacing something or just adding to the list? Could lifestyle or therapy changes help instead of another medication? Within 6 months, under careful supervision, Dorothy reduced her medications from 12 to 5. The changes were remarkable. Her energy returned, her mind cleared, and many of her mysterious symptoms simply disappeared. She realized that what she thought were new illnesses were often just side effects of the medications themselves. For example, the joint pain she had been medicating was actually caused by one of her cholesterol drugs. Her insomnia was a reaction to blood pressure medicine taken too late in the evening. By asking better questions and coordinating her care, she not only reduced her risk, but also improved her quality of life. Dorothy now follows a simple mental checklist before agreeing to any new prescription. She asks, is this a new symptom or just a side effect? Have I tried non-medication options first? Do all of my doctors know about this? Will this mix safely with what I already take? And what is the long-term plan for eventually stopping this medication? Her new mindset transformed her from a passive patient into an active partner in her own health. The lesson is clear: more medicine is not always better. In fact, it can quietly become one of the most dangerous mistakes seniors make every day. Mistake number 2 reveals another hidden danger, this time hiding not in the medicine cabinet, but in the kitchen. Mistake number 2, the invisible poison in your pantry. At first glance, Dorothy's pantry looked respectable. Boxes of whole grain cereals, low-fat cookies, sugar-free drinks, and canned soups lined the shelves. She thought she was making smart choices, but behind the labels was a hidden danger that nutrition experts call age accelerators. Foods that quietly speed up inflammation, damage cells, and push the body toward decline. The biggest offenders were hidden sugars and artificial sweeteners. That wholesome-looking granola bar, it contained more sugar than a donut. Those sugar-free sodas Dorothy drank daily were loaded with chemicals like aspartame, now linked in research to higher risk of stroke and heart disease in older adults. Even her healthy bread contained high-fructose corn syrup, disguised under names she had never bothered to read. But it wasn't just about sugar. Her low-fat snacks were pumped full of additives and hidden salts to make up for the missing flavor. Her canned soups, which she thought were convenient, contained sodium levels that could spike her blood pressure to dangerous levels in a single serving. And the processed meats in her freezer were full of nitrates, substances now tied to memory decline and increased dementia risk. Perhaps the most surprising discovery was her hydration problem. At 72, Dorothy rarely felt thirsty. She assumed that meant she was fine, but older adults often lose their natural thirst signals. In reality, she was drinking only 2 or 3 glasses of water a day while relying heavily on caffeine and the occasional glass of wine. This left her kidneys strained, her energy drained, and even increased her risk of falling because mild dehydration can cause confusion and dizziness. Her wake-up call came when her daughter, a nutritionist, took her grocery shopping. They read every label line by line, and what they found shocked Dorothy. Products she had trusted for years were undermining her health with hidden sugars, chemicals, and empty calories. That day, Dorothy committed to what she called her 5x5 rule. First, she would only buy packaged foods with 5 ingredients or fewer. Second, she made sure to drink 5 glasses of water by 5 p.m. every day to stay hydrated without interrupting her sleep at night. And third, she ate 5 different colors of fruits and vegetables daily to maximize nutrients and fight inflammation naturally. She swapped packaged snacks for almonds and sunflower seeds. She replaced soda with herbal teas and fruit-infused water. White bread was traded for real whole grain bread, not just the ones labeled whole grain, but actually containing it. She stocked up on lean proteins like chicken, turkey, and fish, and replaced processed meats with fresh alternatives. The changes were dramatic. Within 4 months, her pre-diabetes was gone. Her skin looked brighter, her energy improved, and her chronic joint pain eased as her inflammation markers dropped. Even her grocery bill shrank by nearly 1/3 since she stopped paying for processed packaged items. The lesson Dorothy learned is one every senior needs to hear. The poison that shortens life isn't always in a pill bottle. Sometimes it's hiding in your own pantry, disguised as healthy food. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any video. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Mistake number 3 is even more dangerous because it doesn't start in the pantry or the pharmacy, it begins in the mind. Mistake number 3, the mobility mindset death spiral. Dorothy's first fall didn't seem serious, a small slip, a bruised elbow, and a shaken confidence. She told herself she just needed to be more careful, so she stopped taking the stairs, avoided uneven sidewalks, and limited her activities. On the surface, this looked like a sensible precaution, but it set her on a path far more dangerous than the fall itself. Here's the hidden danger. When seniors reduce movement out of fear, their muscles begin to weaken rapidly, balance declines, bones lose strength, and the very thing they fear, falling, becomes more likely. Studies reveal that seniors who limit activity due to fear of falling are 3 times more likely to fall within a year. The irony is painful. Trying to stay safe often leads to the very decline people are trying to avoid. For Dorothy, the spiral accelerated quickly. Within 18 months, she struggled to climb stairs without gasping. She couldn't stand from a chair without pushing off with her arm. Even lifting her 6-year-old grandson became impossible. Her physical therapist told her the truth bluntly. "Dorothy, you're only 72, but your muscle mass is that of someone 85. Your protective instincts are quietly stealing your independence." Dorothy had to unlearn her fear and replace it with strength. She started small, using what she called her Power of 3 program: 3 balance exercises while brushing her teeth, 3 strength moves during television commercials, and 3 gentle stretches before bed. At first, she could barely balance on one leg for 5 seconds, but she stayed consistent. By week 4, she was holding steady for 30 seconds. By 3 months, she could perform squats with confidence, and after 6 months, she was hiking with her grandchildren, free from fear. The science backs her story. Research shows that even at 90 years old, seniors can double their muscle strength in just 3 months of resistance training. Muscles don't care about age. They respond to challenge. Dorothy joined a senior exercise class where the laughter and camaraderie made it easier to stay committed. She discovered that training her body didn't just reduce her fear, it restored her joy. Her routine included practical, functional movements. Carrying groceries in both hands to simulate strength training, practicing getting up from the floor just in case of another fall, walking on grass, gravel and uneven surfaces to sharpen her balance. She even added dance classes for coordination and fun, proving that fitness doesn't need to feel like work. The biggest change wasn't just physical, it was mental. Dorothy stopped avoiding challenges and began seeking them. She took stairs again, first with support, then without. She stood on one leg while cooking. She turned television time into yoga time. The transformation was complete. From fragile and fearful to strong and fearless. Her results speak for themselves. Her bone density improved. Her balance scores nearly doubled. And she hasn't had a fall in over 2 years. Most importantly, she lives boldly again, traveling, playing and moving without hesitation. The death spiral of reduced mobility is one of the deadliest traps seniors face. The good news is that it can be reversed at any age. The question isn't whether you can get stronger, it's whether you're willing to challenge the fear that's holding you back. Mistake number 4, strikes silently, and it doesn't weaken your body first. It begins by draining your spirit. Mistake number 4, the social isolation time bomb. After she retired, Dorothy thought the peace and quiet would be a blessing. No more staff meetings, no deadlines, no parents calling her late at night. But within 6 months, something unexpected happened. The silence in her home grew heavy. Days passed without more than a few words exchanged at the grocery store. Her bridge club dissolved. Her church went online and visits from her children grew less frequent. She realized one day that she was talking more to her dog than to people. This kind of isolation doesn't just feel lonely, it's lethal. Researchers have shown that social isolation increases the risk of premature death by nearly 50%. The health consequences are as damaging as smoking a pack of cigarettes every single day. Loneliness weakens immunity, accelerates memory loss, and doubles the risk of dementia. Seniors who slip into this trap often lose their sharpness and vitality years earlier than they should. Dorothy began noticing subtle warning signs. She sometimes forgot if she had taken her medication. Words slipped from her memory mid-sentence. Her blood pressure crept upward. Most troubling of all, she confessed to her daughter one morning, "I feel like I'm disappearing." Those words hit harder than any lab result or diagnosis. But here's what saved her. She discovered that meaningful human connection is one of the strongest medicines for longevity. Seniors who maintain strong social ties live longer, sharper, and happier lives. Dorothy decided to create her own revival. She started small, waving to neighbors until those waves turned into porch conversations. She began grocery shopping during senior hours and made friends with others she saw regularly. She joined a local book club, volunteered once a week at a hospital gift shop, and even learned how to use video calls to speak with her grandchildren. The real breakthrough came when she launched the Tuesday Club in her apartment building. It started with 3 people gathering for cards. Soon, 20 neighbors were meeting weekly for games, potlucks, and support. Dorothy discovered that true connection has less to do with the number of friends and more to do with the quality of those interactions. Her strategy was simple but powerful. She focused on regular contact with a few close friends, deeper conversations where feelings were shared rather than just facts, active participation in activities that engage her mind, and keeping interactions joyful instead of heavy. Within weeks, her mood lifted, her vocabulary sharpened, her blood pressure dropped. She was waking up excited about the day again. By age 75, Dorothy's calendar was fuller than it had been at 65, but in a healthier way. She had fewer shallow obligations and more meaningful connections. She laughed more, worried less, and even began dating again after years of widowhood. Her daughter said, "Mom didn't just get her health back, she got her sparkle back." The time bomb of social isolation can be diffused with intentional action. Even 1 or 2 meaningful relationships can transform your health, your memory, and your spirit. The truth is, no supplement or pill can replace the healing power of connection. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any video. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Mistake number 5. The Memory Myth Massacre. For years, Dorothy believed what so many seniors are told, that forgetfulness is just part of getting old. Misplacing keys, losing track of names, or forgetting why you walked into a room are often dismissed as senior moments. But this belief almost destroyed her mind. One day, Dorothy forgot her granddaughter's name. Another time she got lost driving to her daughter's house, a route she had taken for more than a decade. Sitting in a parking lot, confused and in tears, she realized something was terribly wrong. Here's the shocking truth. Accepting memory loss as normal actually accelerates it. When you believe your brain is doomed to decline, you stop challenging it and unused abilities atrophy. Researchers show that seniors who accept memory problems as unavoidable experience cognitive decline at nearly double the rate of those who actively work their brain. Dorothy's own neurologist later told her, "Your brain was losing ground, not because of age, but because of neglect." But the science is clear. The human brain can grow and rewire itself at any age, even into the 80s, and this capacity, called neuroplasticity, means you can form new brain cells, new connections, and even regain lost abilities. Dorothy proved this when she began what she called her brain renaissance. She started each morning with a 15-minute brain training exercise using simple apps and puzzles to test memory and problem solving. In the afternoon, she committed to learning something entirely new: Spanish, piano, and painting. Evenings were reserved for journaling and reading challenging books instead of easy novels. Within weeks, she noticed she was remembering details more clearly. Within months, her memory test scores improved by nearly. Dorothy also discovered that physical exercise was one of the most powerful tools for brain health. Walking each day increased a natural protein in her brain that supports growth of new cells. She added dance classes, which challenged her memory, coordination, and balance all at once, a triple benefit for her brain. She used practical memory tools as well, linking new information to familiar places, creating short stories to remember lists, and teaching what she learned to others, all strengthened her recall. By her 73rd birthday, Dorothy could order food in Spanish, play simple songs on the piano, and remember details of her childhood she thought were gone forever. Her neurologist was stunned. Brain scans showed growth where decline was expected. "Your brain looks 10 years younger," he told her. Dorothy's response was simple yet powerful. The moment you believe your brain is finished learning is the moment it begins to die. The real danger isn't aging itself, it's believing the myth that aging means inevitable decline. By rejecting that myth and actively challenging your mind, you build what scientists call cognitive reserve, a buffer that protects you from memory loss and dementia. Dorothy's story is proof that your brain is not finished, no matter your age. And that truth leads us to the most important part of all, her full transformation and what it can teach us about living beyond 80 with energy, purpose, and confidence. Final thought. 3 years ago, Dorothy was headed down the same road as most seniors, pre-diabetic, over-medicated, socially isolated, physically weak, and convinced that memory loss was unavoidable. Her doctor quietly warned her that she might not live to see 80 if nothing changed. She was on track to become part of the 85% who pass away before their 82nd birthday. But Dorothy chose a different path. She took control of her medications, cleared the poisons from her pantry, rebuilt her strength through movement, reconnected socially, and revived her brain with daily challenges. Today, at 75, she is stronger, sharper, and more engaged than she was at. Her latest blood work shows the health of someone 20 years younger. More importantly, she wakes up every day with joy, purpose, and confidence. The key lesson is this: aging does not have to mean decline. The real danger lies in the silent mistakes we accept as normal. By avoiding these 5 traps: over-medication, poor diet, inactivity, isolation, and the memory myth, you can dramatically change your future. You are not powerless. Your choices, even the small ones made daily, can determine whether you quietly fade away before 82 or live fully into your 90s and beyond. Dorothy's story is not unique. It is proof that with the right mindset and actions, anyone can extend not only their years, but their quality of life. The body and brain are capable of more than most people believe. No matter your age, the real challenge is not the passing years, it is the fear and resignation that steal them away. So take these lessons to heart. Think of the areas in your own life where small shifts could make a big difference. Whether it's reviewing your medications, cleaning your pantry, joining a group, or learning a new skill, each step you take is an investment in your future self. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.